Budgeting Lesson 1. What is a budget and why do you need one? In this video, you'll learn what a budget is, the purpose of a budget, and why a budget matters. So, what is a budget? A budget is a spending plan based on your income and your expenses. In other words, it's an estimate of how much money you'll make and spend over a certain period of time, typically a month. Some people prefer to track their budget by hand with pen and paper, while others use a spreadsheet or a budgeting app. There's no correct way to track your budget. What works for one person might not work for another. You're probably going to need to experiment and figure out what works best for you. But don't worry about that just yet. We'll cover tools for tracking spending in a future lesson. Budgeting isn't about depriving yourself. It's about taking control of your money, and it shouldn't feel like a punishment. In fact, your budget should include setting aside money for fun stuff too. A budget doesn't have to be rigid, and it should actually be flexible to change as your circumstances do. For example, when you get a raise at work or have a kid. Those are things that are going to cause you to need to adjust your budget. The idea is to make your budget work for your lifestyle and leave room to adapt. So, why does budgeting matter? Budgeting benefits everybody, not just those who struggle financially. It encourages you to live within your means by putting your money to work in the best way possible. Think of a budget as a stepping stone to your financial goals. A budget can help you understand your relationship with money. Tracking your income and expenses paints a clear picture of how much money you have to save or spend. Once you spot patterns, you can identify where adjustments need to be made. A budget can also help you save enough money for the future. A good budget puts money aside to build up your emergency fund and your savings account for goals like we talked about in the banking module. A budget can also help you stay out of debt. Mapping out your expenses in advance reduces the risk of overspending. If you find yourself in debt as an adult, a budget can also help you dig your way out of debt. Lastly, a budget helps relieve stress. Budgeting isn't a fix-all, but if you can actually stick to one, it can help you manage your financial decisions and better prepare you for life's challenges. So how do you start to create your budget? You start with the basics, knowing how much money you bring home, how much is required to cover your bills, and tracking your expenses so you know where your money actually goes. You have to identify your priorities and find out the right way to track your budget based on your personality type. And yes, we're going to go over how to do all of that. You'll hear us say this a lot more throughout this module, but the most important thing when it comes to creating a budget is to be realistic. If it's not realistic, you won't stick to it. We just went over what a budget is, the purpose of a budget, and why a budget matters. In the next lesson, we're going to cover how to split your income into different categories that will help you create your budget.